Happy Devil's Tuesday. This is the Woo Report, episode 90. I am your host, Sam Woo, coming to you live on Facebook Live, Twitter Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. Happy Devil's Tuesday, Mike Rossi and the Facebook Live. Yesterday's news, Janne Kuokkanen re-signs with the New Jersey Devils 2-year deal. A deal, he's making a little bit less than Yegor Sharangovich. I believe it's an annual average of 1.825, I think. Somewhere around that range. Good signing, expected signing for the New Jersey Devils. Some people have said, hey, what about Kuokkanen and Sharangovich? Well, they signed. It's just a matter of formality this week. Maybe it was planned by Tom Fitzgerald. Maybe they want to keep that news cycle keep on going, if you know what I mean. All right, so right now I'm actually on vacation, but I figured maybe I shouldn't be skipping these Woo reports. I'll do my best. Tomorrow night, State of the Fan Address. The show must go on. Nick Villano and I. Nick Villano, you may know him as the Pucks and Pitchforks editor-in-chief. He and I have a great guest coming on. We won't reveal it till tomorrow, but I can tell you we're going to be talking about a lot about analytics and why the Devils are going to do some damage in the playoffs. Stay tuned. Really? We're going to be talking about that? The Devils in the playoffs? Oh, boy. Well, in the summertime, it kind of gets slow with the news, but I'll be talking tomorrow probably about the defensive pairings, the beef that is now on the New Jersey Devils. Now, Mike Lucci, Pucks and Pitchforks contributor, put out an article today. Go to pucksandpitchforks.com. New Jersey Devils realizing size matters on defense. Well, it was about time. How many years have the Devils got pushed around? Strictly because of size differential. Size. It's not happening anymore. The Devils are going to be good. And I haven't put out my article on pucksandpitchforks.com yet, but I think Harrison Blitzer, the two Devils owners, I think they've got it right this time around. I think I see the turnaround right now. I think with Taylor Hall, that issue, no one would have, first off, when that trade first happened, we were all like, Adam Larson straight up for Taylor Hall? We're thinking to ourselves, what is Chiarelli thinking? But you know what? At the time, Taylor needed to get out of Edmonton, whether he liked it or not. Change of scenery. Comes to New Jersey. He was still bitter over that trade. Finally, Ray Shero just basically pulled him aside and said, hey, Taylor, you got to get over it. And you know what? To his credit, Taylor Hall said, you know what? You're right, Ray. I should get over it. What happened next? MVP season. Hart Trophy winner. Totally unexpected. I mean, the Band-Aid started to get ripped off when Lou Lamoriello bolted to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ray Shero at the helm. Finally, you get this Hart Trophy winner out of Taylor Hall. And then the injuries started to happen. And then the all-out persuasion, the fool's gold of the Devils 2018 making the playoffs. taking 7 steps forward and then eventually regressing 5 steps back. But right now I see the Devils doing better than that, and here's why. So after Taylor Hall had that MVP type season, then the injuries came, and then that came that pivotal year. And you got to give Joshua Harris and David Blitzer some credit here. They went all out assault. Remember that photo when the Toronto Raptors of the NBA were doing very well, making to the NBA Finals? And then you see that photo of Joshua Harris courtside with Taylor Hall, and there was some popcorn there, I believe, and they were all smiles. And Joshua Harris taking some time out of his day job and trying to pursue Taylor Hall. And the delay. Taylor Hall betting on himself. Then you have the drafting of Jack Hughes, the PK Subban trade, the Gusev signing, the expectations getting bigger, and also I believe Blake Coleman re-signed to a favorable deal. And all things look so promising. So promising. They took 7 steps forward in 2018 season, Nico Hischier's rookie year, and then took a couple steps back. The expectations up 4-0 against the Winnipeg Jets opening night, and then it fell apart, and they took 9 steps back. And it was brutal since till now. And if you remember correctly, Taylor Hall being traded, Ray Shero had to, orchestrate that. Things looked so bad. You remember Ray Shero parting ways, the awkward press conference with interim GM Tom Fitzgerald and Joshua Harris. And trust me, I was very critical of everything. But Tom Fitzgerald ignored the naysayers with the interim tag, kept this team together. Then the stoppage, 9.5 months, then not by default being the 17s that didn't have any extra games to play in the bubble. Remember that? 9.5 months. What was Nico doing? He was just fulfilling his military obligations in his home country of Switzerland. You remember that, right? And the Devils regressed, and then they took 1 step forward, 2 steps forward at the beginning of the season. Then Mackenzie Blackwood went out with COVID. Before that, Corey Crawford retired for personal reasons and justified. And then COVID hit the Devils, and then they just took some time, just steps back. But now, what Tom Fitzgerald has done is he's kept this team together, the core nucleus. He's, with the help of his staff, managed the cap money well, has used it to his advantage, which benefits Devils fans, benefits the New Jersey Devils. I hope Fitz is done dealing, says Andrew Gilbert in the Facebook Live. Let's keep the $12 million plus in cap space and use it as a tool. I couldn't agree with you more. Unless you get Tarasenko at the cheap, and what I mean by cheap is no more than a 4th rounder or less, and maybe a mid-level prospect. because he doesn't have too much longer on his current contract. And notice all these 2-year deals. Notice all these 2-year deals as the Devils are filling that prospect pipeline. I love doing this podcast when I mention names like Dawson Mercer, Alexander Holtz, Mukli Doolin, Luke Hughes, Riley Walsh, Kevin Ball. The pipeline is now starting to flow. Amateur scouting. They put Mark Dennehy ahead of that, which I thought he did a very good job of developing Mikey McLeod, Kuokkanen, a short time with him, and Sharon Govich. Thomas Roberts says now to make some trades for scoring. Yes, again, it all comes at the right price. And I'll tell you why. Because you still need to manage your money well. You don't want to mortgage the future by being in cap hell and start having to make deals like, hey, we're going to trade you Zaka, McLeod, and a 4th rounder and nothing in return. All because you didn't manage your money well. Team chemistry is the key to the New Jersey Devils. How do you build chemistry? I'll tell you what. I liken team chemistry to like dating. You just can't force it. It just happens. And when it does happen, you try to nurture it and you try to work at it. That's what team chemistry is. But there's also another T word that goes with team chemistry is time. Time together. Time to practice, which the Devils rarely had in the past 18 months. But now as things start to open up, of course there's going to be setbacks. All right, it's beyond our control. It's beyond the Devils' control with the pandemic. There will be setbacks, I'm sure. Rules and regulations, whatever. But as the time goes along and the chemistry builds, and a Lindy Ruff-led team with the help of Mark Recchi and Lane Nazardine and with Kevin Dineen, a good article that the Devils put out earlier about the synergy, that buzzword again, synergy, between the two clubs, the Utica Comets and the New Jersey Devils. Let's build it. And I like these 2-year deals. I love these 2-year deals. Remember the Nikita Gusev 2-year deal? Hey, it didn't work out. Not a problem. Here, ship him off down south to South Florida to Sunrise. Thank you for your time, Nikita. The Goose flies south for the winter. And you get Tatar for a 2-year deal. Did not overpay. A legitimate sniper, a legitimate offensive creator. Steve writes, Kevin Dineen is going to be a solid coach down at Utica. Very happy about that. I'm very happy about that. Because Kevin Dineen does not screw around. Kevin Dineen is very smart. He has been around the game, the experience, the insight. Remember, I believe he was that 2012 Florida Panthers coach. Just happened to run into Adam Henrique. It's rookie season, magical rookie season, and the Devils' dynasty last gasp with Martin Brodeur. Took him to 7 games. Remember that? Obviously, this is Tom Fitzgerald's team. His legacy is being defined right now. On paper right now, as a Devils fan, you cannot be happier with what has gone on this offseason. They did not throw in the towel. They didn't. The management group, the hockey operations did not just feed a line of BS, trust the process. They didn't, I mean, talk is cheap, really. Talk is talk. Talk is cheap. Words don't move me. Words just don't move me. We live in this society that's very politically correct, but to me, words don't move me. Action speaks louder than words. I'll throw a cliche there for you. Action speaks louder than words. And that's all I have to say. It's the summertime. It can be a little slow. But we try to do the Woo Report. I'm on vacation right now. I'll be traveling. My background is going to be different. I may sound a little different. But my heart's with the New Jersey Devils always. Going to be traveling the great state of New York. Doing a little sightseeing, going through Pennsylvania. Actually, my original vacation plans got scrapped. Was playing it safe to get ready for the upcoming New Jersey Devils season. And I got to tell you, I'd like to thank all the kind words. A guy on Twitter actually tweeted to me. I'll read it off. He said, Jonathan Dumphy says, Sam, at Primetime Sam Woo, you have such a great radio voice, Sam. Love the pod. Side note, at the time of me following you, I am your 666 follow. Thank you very much, Jonathan from Canada. Also, if you want to follow me at Primetime Sam Woo, you can follow our social media pages at Let's Go Devils Pod on Twitter, Facebook.com, Twitch.com, and YouTube.com. Let's Go Devils Podcast. Type it in the search. You'll find us. Yeah, I like doing this podcast. It's tough, but once the season gets started, boy, do we have a comprehensive coverage plan for you. Not just coverage, but it's just straight Devils talk. That's what we like to do. We like to invite you into our conversation, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, Twitch Live, and we're expanding. We're going to be expanding to a television near you. It's going to be a process, like how the Devils are building it. Let's not do 7 steps forward, 5 steps back. Let's build it steadily. And that's all I have to say. This is the Woo Report. Till next time, let's go Devils. Drop it on the podcast a little bit later.